The Hulk has almost smashed Spider-Man more than once, and most of the time Spidey hadn't even done anything. This is the story of the most unlikely, most violent, and most powerful friendship in all of Marvel, and it starts by accident. Back in the classic Stan Lee and Steve Ditko era, in Amazing Spider-Man number 14, Spider-Man was trading punches with the Green Goblin when the two of them accidentally stumbled straight into the hideout of the most powerful and most unstable being in the Marvel Universe. The Hulk did not want to talk it out. To him, there was only one thing standing there, an enemy to smash. Spider-Man tried to explain, tried to reason with him. Didn't matter one bit. That's how the first fight between these two titans kicked off, and it definitely wasn't going to be the last time Spidey had to prove he wasn't anybody's enemy. Years later, fate threw them back together, except this time Spider-Man wasn't there by choice. The Avengers wanted him on the team, but first he had to pass a brutal test, hand the Hulk over. Problem was, the Hulk didn't even remember who Spider-Man was. To him, this was just some random guy in a mask he needed to punch. The brawl turned into an all-out mess, until a gamma-ray testing device changed everything. The radiation hit the Hulk that instantly turned back into Dr. Bruce Banner, and that's the exact moment Spider-Man realized something that would shape their entire relationship going forward. That monster didn't need punishment, he needed help. And that's why, without even knowing the Avengers wanted the exact same thing, Spidey turned down joining the team. But things got real serious when the government decided the solution to the Hulk problem was simply wiping him out. In Marvel Team-Up number 53, Spider-Man rolled into Liberty, New Mexico, just in time to watch the US military gear up to exterminate the Green Giant, who was busy fighting the disgruntled Wood God. But Peter Parker figured out that this whole thing was way dirtier than the Lizard's sewer lair. The government was covering up an experimental nerve gas leak that had already wiped out the entire town. When Major Del Tremens captured the Hulk and Wood God, Spider tried to bust them loose and paid for it hard, as the hero was knocked out with sleeping gas and dragged off to base Tranquility. The Major's plan was to shoot Wood God into space to run experiments on him, and on top of that, pin the destruction of Liberty on both Spider-Man and the Hulk. And if you think this unlikely friendship stops there, wait until you see what comes next, because things were about to get cosmic. Kinda like this channel actually, we're climbing our way back from Limbo 2, and if you're enjoying the ride, dropping a like helps more than you'd think. In Marvel Team-Up Annual number 2, Spider-Man and Dr. Banner had to team up to stop an antimatter bomb from wiping out all of humanity. Only problem, the one thing on the planet that could actually survive that explosion was the Hulk himself. So Spider-Man did the only reasonable thing anyone could do in that situation. He provoked Banner into transforming with a scream and a slap to the face. Yes, poking the bear doesn't quite cover it here. The second the other guy showed up, Spider-Man tricked the Hulk into helping him hurl 2 globes of antimatter out of Earth's atmosphere, where they blew up safely in the vacuum of space. Not every version of the Hulk was on Spider-Man's side, though. The Grey Hulk isn't the same guy from those earlier team-ups. He's a completely separate personality, cold, calculating, and at one point, hired out as a straight-up assassin. When the two of them collided in Amazing Spider-Man number 328, Spider-Man happened to be running on a temporary cosmic power boost, finally strong enough to go toe-to-toe with him. And in true Superman fashion, he punched the monster straight out of orbit. Problem was, the Grey Hulk wasn't coming back down on his own, so Cosmic Spider-Man flew up and dragged him home himself. Grateful, the Grey Hulk walked away from the job, when he clearly wasn't going to finish anyway. The duo teamed up again when the revamped Sinister Six, now led by Dr. Octopus, proved to be too much for Spider-Man alone. With the Hulk by his side, and later backup from Ghost Rider and Sleepwalker, they went up against a squad of villains armed to the teeth with weapons pulled straight from outer space. But even that much firepower ran into a wall. Gog, the sixth and most powerful member of the group. The win only came when the Fantastic Four, Nova, and Deathlock jumped into the fight, with a surprise attack from the reformed Sandman sealing the villain's fate. But the bond between Peter Parker and the Hulk was about to get tested in a way that hit way closer to home. In Amazing Spider-Man 381, Peter went to check out a demonstration for a supposed gamma virus, built to release repressed emotions. The experiment went off the rails and infected Doc Samson, turning him into a violent threat. Spider-Man chased him down and found Samson going toe-to-toe with the Hulk himself. Trying to stop the Hulk from killing Samson, Spidey ended up being the one who accidentally passed the virus onto the Hulk instead. Now it was Spider-Man and Samson against the Hulk, enraged and about to level all of New York City. And just when it looked hopeless, Spidey did the one thing that always worked. He appealed to Banner's human side, and the Hulk listened. He let the virus burn through him, choosing the city over the rage. But not every story between these two ends in an alliance. Sometimes it ends in a tragedy that looks a whole lot like murder. When Peter Parker got word that the Hulk might be behind the deaths of hundreds of people in a plane crash, he went after the monster without thinking twice. Mid-battle, he fell onto a stack of Daily Bugle newspapers, and that's where he saw the headline that stopped him cold. His wife, Mary Jane Watson, was supposedly on that same flight. Blind fury took over, and Peter fought the Hulk to the point of total exhaustion. But fate had other plans. An incoming train was on a direct collision course with the wreckage from their own fight. Right then, their differences got tossed aside, and for a few minutes these two enemies became the only ones who could actually save innocent lives. Shortly after, Peter found out Mary Jane was alive. The final chapter of this whole saga, though, might be the most painful one of all. During Civil War, Peter Parker unmasked himself publicly to back Tony Stark's superhuman registration movement. That decision put a target on his entire family. The Kingpin ordered a hit, and Aunt May ended up in critical condition. To save her, Peter made a deal with the devil, literally. In exchange for everyone forgetting he'd ever been Spider-Man, Mephisto claimed something even more precious as payment: the marriage between Peter and Mary Jane. Years later, Spider-Man and the Hulk crossed paths again, this time in front of Loki, who was trying to rip Bruce Banner away from the beast living inside him. But in a twist nobody saw coming, the Hulk found himself a new host, Spider-Man himself. It took the entire Fantastic Four to help Banner reabsorb the Hulk and restore both heroes back to their original bodies. And it was during that reunion that we got the line that sums up this entire unlikely friendship between a tormented scientist and a teenager with spider powers. Bruce Banner might not remember Peter Parker, but the Incredible Hulk, well, he never forgot.